Shabbat Shalom, family. So, how does it feel? How does it feel? Quick message here. You ask yourself, how does it feel? Especially for those sitting in Babylon. How does it feel with what's going on today? All that you see that's happening. How does it feel sitting in the trap? And you can't get out. How does it feel? How does it feel for those that came within the borders, went back into Babylon? How does it feel? This is a question you must ask yourself. We have many people that came inside the borders and went back into her. Most of them were tricked by someone that don't even know the Most High. They don't even know the Most High. So how did you get deceived? Yahushua said, take heed, let no one deceive you. They were deceived by somebody that don't even know him. And so they said, you need to come on back. Come on back. Let's go back. And they go back. How does it feel? How does it feel to one sit in the borders? How does it feel to be sitting in the borders and no one can travel? How does it feel? See, the ones in the border, the breakdown comes, so what? The Most High still can lead us into the wilderness. But if you're not within the borders where you're supposed to be, the beginning points, the starting points, you're not in the borders, how will you go into the wilderness? See, you can sit in Babylon, and teachers can sit in Babylon all they want and teach. We have a plan. We're going to be in the wilderness. They can say it, they can teach it, and their people will sit still and go down with her. So this is the question. How does it feel? You notice people don't have answers. Teachers don't have answers. That's something I've proclaimed on this channel for years. Now the Most High is saying, look at the results. They don't have answers. The so-called truthers, they don't have answers. They're telling their people the answer is prayer. Did the Most High say the answer is prayer? No. Deliver yourself, you who dwell with the daughter of Babylon. He said, come out of her, my people. Not prayer, but action. He was calling for action. The Father was saying, time for some action. He didn't wake us up for nothing when he woke us up. He said, time for some action. So one of the biggest problems in the world today, people are confused. Luke 21:26, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. The Most High spoke to the prophets and they told us the things that were coming upon the earth. And when it comes, when it hit, people don't really understand. They won't believe. They won't understand. But one thing will happen. Hearts will fail. The ones within the borders, our hearts shouldn't be failing us. Remember, we have the wilderness before us and Babylon behind us. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And they think this is it. And this is not even it. This is to get your attention. This is not it. And if this doesn't get your attention, then that will be it. But this is not it. He's trying to get your attention. And he's letting you know this window that's open for you to leave out, to fly out the midst of her, it's closing. The door is closing. The windows are closing. And the chances are running out. So, right now, people's hearts are failing them. It should happen. This is one of the things that should happen. What are they preparing the people for? This thing is worldwide. They are preparing the people for mass death, just like the scripture proclaimed. This is the programming, family. Man, our people don't understand. They think this is it. They think this is the one. It's begun. Jacob's trouble has begun. They believe in all the dead bodies. They believe in it. They're falling for it. They are conditioned. They're being conditioning for worldwide death. Death and famine among gooey. This is what the Most High told us. See, the problem is we don't believe the prophets. Jeremiah 7:25 and 26, the Most High told us, since the day your fathers came out of the land of Egypt until this day. He was talking then. Right now, he's speaking to us right now. Until this day, I have sent to you all my servants, the prophets, daily, rising up early and sending them. Yet you did not obey me or incline your ear, but stiff your neck. And they did worse than their fathers. See, we're hard-headed, stiff-necked, hard-headed. Can't tell us anything. Again, Jeremiah 35:15. I have also sent to you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, turn now everyone from his evil way. We must turn from our evil way. You serve Babylon, you're in an evil way. You refuse to come out, that's an evil way. Amend your doings and do not go after the mighty ones to serve them. You are serving, in the land of captivity, we're serving the enemy. We're working for the enemy. You see why the Most High give us these messages? Working for the enemy. You're serving the enemy. You should be uncomfortable serving your enemy. Then you will dwell in the land. See? You can't serve your enemies and dwell in the land which I have given you and your fathers. But you, here we go, you have not inclined your ear nor obeyed me. The Father is saying, when my people do not incline their ears and they do not come out of her and get back within the borders, then this thing will hit them. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. There will be mass death. The people are programmed now. They're ready. Primed and ready for the mass death. It's amazing how they have to, the Father, see, they trying to be like the Father. The Father said, I do nothing until I reveal it from the mouth of the prophets. They won't do anything before they tell us what they're going to do. They tell us first. See how they try to be like the Most High? And then they do it. They program us first. Before 9/11, it's already happened now. Before 9/11, you know as well as I do, we were programmed. We saw the buildings being blown up in movies. We heard them say they're going to hit the Twin Towers with planes. We heard this. We saw 9/11 everywhere. The clocks in the movies, 9/11. Everything's 9/11. 9/11. They programmed us. And then it happened. See, right now the people are programmed for mass death worldwide. This psyop is worldwide. And there will be mass death after the programming. See, you get programmed from your television show. Once the program over, then here comes the real deal. Matthew 23:37. Here's the problem. Most of our people will fit this verse. You fit this verse. The prophets were here. My family and I, we were discussing this. If the Most High send any of the mighty prophets to us today, send them. They wouldn't go to Babylon, but let's just say he send them to Babylon, into these assemblies, these wicked assemblies. They would run him out. They would run him out of there. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you, the one who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to her. See, when you speak the Most High's word, see, we repeat what the prophets are saying today. People are not going to like this. How often I want to gather your children together as a hen gather her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. See, the Most High is willing to gather his people, but they are not willing. He's calling for us to come out. We're not willing. Instead, what do? We do what the Jewish people do. Right now, our people are tied up in this Jewish Passover. The Passover has passed. It's gone. The real Passover. Every Passover you see from here on, they're not in line. You know you're not in line when you're on the Jewish Passover. Wednesday, April the 8th ends the evening. Thursday, April 16th. You know anyone in these days talking about Passover, you are right in line with you're fitting the Jewish line perfectly. Now here's your word from the Father. 2nd Ezra 15 through 19. For the sword and misery draw near to them. See, this sword, this death, this stuff draw near. We're as the closest as anybody in the history have ever seen it. It draw near, and nations shall rise up and fight against nations with swords in their hands, weapons, fighting, killing each other. For there should be unrest among men, growing strong against one another. They shall in their might have no respect for their king, the chiefs, or their leaders. For a man will desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You're going to want to flee. You won't be able at this point. See, we're not here at this point. And when we get to this point, the ones within the borders, shelter. We'll find shelter in the wilderness. We don't need planes. We don't need cars. So you see how we feel within the border? We don't need planes. We don't need cars. We don't need any type of motor. So they're going to shut this thing down. You won't be able to travel. And this is what the Most High is showing us here. 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be in confusion. Right now, people are in confusion. The prophets already spoke it. The Most High already spoke this. But we don't believe this. When you stay in the lands of your captivity, you do not believe. The Most High will look at you as an unbeliever. Oh, that one didn't believe my word. When I said I was going to deliver you with my word, come out of her with a command, then you said he's going to gather us. You already heard what the Father said. Gather, what gathering? Gathering to be burned? The house shall be destroyed, and people shall be afraid. When this thing starts, listen, the people are not dying right now, but the people are afraid. And when they start dying, and they're going to die, in mass numbers, the people are going to die. We're going to see you're going to see none will be able to bury, none will bury their bodies. That's what the Father has said. And the people shall be in fear. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbors, but shall make an assault upon their houses with the sword and plunder their goods, because of hunger for bread and because of great tribulation. This is what's still before us, family. We're not in it. We're not in it. Sure, our people had tribulations in 70 AD. Our people had tribulation in those slave ships. Then we got the great tribulation. That's the last one, buddy. That's the one. That's the one. None will be able to bury their bodies. That's the one. That's the one that is to be feared. So how does it feel? The Most High just showed you what's coming. We saw this I brought this out many times. You've heard these verses. You know what's coming. And for the ones that were making your plans, and they did this mess around the time of us coming out. See, they could have, would have, should have done this at the beginning of flu season. No, they waited till spring, family. They waited till the beginning of the year. They pulled this mess. And our people don't get it. They don't get it. But for the ones that's making their plan to come out, a lot of them, many of you, when that door opens back up, when that window opens back up, just a little peek, the Most High said, you better get up out of there. You've had your warnings. We've had many signs. We've had many warnings. When this thing hit, no one that's been listening to this channel, you cannot say you did not know what was coming. It caught us all by surprise. You won't be able to say that, because the Most High has spoken through the mouth of his prophets what's coming, what's ahead of us. So how does it feel? You answer this question. How does it feel sitting in Babylon with all this going down? The ones in the border, we know how it feels over here. We're looking forward to the things to come. The ones in Babylon, you can't be looking forward to the things to come because they are not bright. It's not pretty. Shabbat Shalom.